Good morning, I'm Abhiday Shrestha. Let's begin with the top stories. President Bidya Devi Bhandari urges all public representatives to focus on political stability and economic prosperity at the first joint meeting at the Federal Parliament. Russia expels 60 U.S. diplomats and closes the St. Petersburg consulate in a tit-for-tat response to U.S. action over a spy poisoning case in the UK. And devastated former Australian captain Steve Smith breaks down in tears as he apologizes for his part in the ball tampering scandal. Let's begin with the latest national political updates. The Federal Parliament hosted the first joint meeting of the House of Representatives and the National Assembly yesterday afternoon. Addressing the event, President Bidya Devi Bhandari urged the representatives of the people at the Federal Parliament to focus on political stability and economic prosperity.
सबै तहका निर्वाचन सम्पन्न भएको र संविधानले व्यवस्था गरे अनुरूपका संरचनाको समेत निर्माण भइसकेको अवस्थामा देश संविधानको पूर्ण कार्यान्वयनको चरणमा प्रवेश गरेको छ। यसबीच हामीले संविधानको व्यवस्था अनुरूप पुनः संरचना गरिएको राजनीतिक प्रणालीलाई संस्थागत गर्ने सफलता हासिल गरेका छौं।
The President further said there is no alternative but to move ahead in the direction of development and prosperity now that the political insurgency has ended. President Bhandari also urged all stakeholders to institutionalize the transformations that the country has seen. Based on the provision of the Constitution, the President has to address the first assembly after the elections of the House of Representatives and every first joint assembly of both the houses of the Federal Parliament each year. Prime Minister K.P. Sharma Oli, Speaker of the House of Representatives Krishna Bahadur Mohara, and Chairman of the National Assembly Ganesh Timilsina, among others, welcomed the President upon her arrival. The heads of constitutional bodies, diplomats, among others, were also invited to attend the event. It has been almost a week since the Central Working Committee of Nepali Congress has been holding meetings to review the party's poor performance at the recently held central and provincial elections. The meetings have been seeing dramatic turn of events by the day. Members of the Central Working Committee have been accusing senior leaders of distributing election tickets unethically. Members of the Central Working Committee, Ram Saran Mahat, Bal Bahadur Kesi and Dhanaraj Gurung yesterday said senior leaders had sold election tickets against the party norm in all three levels of the election. They have also demanded for a proper investigation. Bal Bahadur Kesi even accused party president Sher Bahadur Deuba of favoritism while selecting candidates. Senior leader Ramchandra Paudel was not exempt of the accusation either. Several written complaints have also been filed for the unethical distribution of tickets as parties fielded candidates who were not even a general member of the party. The majority of the parties have recently been accused of sidelining honest leaders with mafia system dominating their operation. To add to it, the emergence of irregularity in ticket distribution only further shows the malpractices within political institutions. The government has decided to reduce the number of public holidays and restrict it to 89 days. In the past, the count of public holidays had reached up to 104 days in a single calendar year. The government decided last Wednesday to cut the holidays of Democracy Day, Republic Day, National Unity Day, as well as Martyrs Day, and give a public holiday on Constitution Day instead. The government offices will now remain closed for only 5 days during the Hindu festival of Dasai. The Dasai holidays that have been cut are Ghatastapana, the first day, Dwadasi, the 12th day, and Kozagrat Purnima, the final day. Meanwhile, the 3-day holiday during another Hindu festival, Tihar, has been unchanged. Holidays in other festivals, including Janai Purnima, Krishna Janmashtami, Ram Navami, and Rishi Panchami, have also been scrapped. Meanwhile, it has been decided that only the concerned communities would be given holidays in festivals like Uboli, Gaura, Eid, Chhath, Christmas, and Losar. The festival of women, Haritalika Teej, will be a public holiday to only women, while educational institutions will remain shut on Sri Panchami. The Home Ministry has proposed to keep the public holidays on Women's Day, Labor Day, and Buddha Jayanti as it is. With a few adjustments in the Home Ministry's proposal, the Ministerial Cabinet decided to operate government offices 22 days more in the Nepalese calendar year 2075 as compared to 2074. There has been a delay in publishing a new calendar for the Nepalese year 2075 as the Cabinet has not published an official list of public holidays yet. Government offices, education institutions, and other service providers are expected to have a productive and effective operation with the reduction in the number of public holidays. It's now time for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us your opinion.
Public Pulse.
And here's today's question. What do you think of the government's decision to cut down the number of public holidays? Your options are A, correct, B, incorrect. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A or B, and send it to 8080 to share your opinion with us. It's time now for the international update. Russia has expelled 60 U.S. diplomats and closed the St. Petersburg consulate in a tit-for-tat response to U.S. action over a spy poisoning case in the U.K. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said other countries that expelled Russian diplomats could expect a symmetrical response. It comes amid a row over the nerve agent attack on a former Russian spy and his daughter in southern England. The White House said Russia's move to expel its diplomats had been anticipated and marked a further deterioration in the U.S.-Russia relationship. Sergei Skripal and his daughter Yulia were found unconscious on a bench in the city of Salisbury on 4th of March, and the UK government has blamed Russia for the attack. More than 20 countries have expelled Russian envoys in solidarity with the UK. Among them is the US, which earlier this week ordered 60 diplomats to leave and closed the Russian Consulate General in Seattle. A strong magnitude 6.9 earthquake has struck off the coast of Papua New Guinea's New Britain Island, according to the U.S. Geological Survey. Hazardous tsunami waves have been forecast for some coastlines. The quake struck at a shallow depth of 10 kilometers, around 162 kilometers from the town of Rabaul on New Britain Island. The quake hit near the coast at around 7:25 early morning local time. There were no immediate reports of damage or casualties. The leaders of North and South Korea will hold their first summit in more than a decade on the 27th of April. Talks between the North Korean leader Kim Jong-un and South Korean President Moon Jae-in is scheduled to be held in the border village of Panmunjom. The date was announced after officials from the two sides met to prepare for the summit. The announcement came yesterday, a day after news emerged of discussions between Kim and Chinese President Xi Jinping. At the meeting in Beijing, the North Korean leader repeated his offer to denuclearize the Korean peninsula. The North Korean leader said recently that he wanted to meet U.S. President Donald Trump. Trump accepted the offer and said they would meet as soon as May. The North and South Korean delegates said the Inter-Korean Summit would take place at the Southern Korean Peace House in the so-called truce village of Panmunjom. Devastated former Australian captain Steve Smith broke down in tears repeatedly as he apologized yesterday for his part in the ball tampering scandal, which has rocked his nation.
Arrived in Sydney from South Africa after being stripped of the captaincy and handed a 12-month ban for his part in the incident during the third test against South Africa in Cape Town last weekend.
To all of my teammates, to fans of cricket all over the world, and to all Australians who are disappointed and angry. I'm sorry. I made a serious error of judgment, and I now understand the consequences. It was a failure of leadership, of my leadership. I'll do everything I can to make up for my mistake and the damage it's caused. If any good can come of this, if it can be a lesson to others, then I hope I can be a force for change. Cricket is the greatest game in the world. It's been my life, and I hope it can be again. I'm sorry, and I'm absolutely devastated.
Smith, who had been captain since 2015, is rated by many as the best Australian batsman since the great Donald Bradman, and had the world at his feet until his misjudgment in Cape Town last week. Batsman Cameron Bancroft also apologised for lying about what he had used to scuff off the ball in the third test against South Africa, after it was confirmed he used sandpaper and not sticky tape with granules from the pitch.
You know, I mean, people know that I've worked so hard to be able to get to this point in my career, and to know that I've just given somebody else an opportunity for free is devastating to me.
Australia cricket coach Darren Lehmann also said he was stepping down after this week's test match against South Africa. An emotional Australia cricket coach Darren Lehmann also said he was stepping down after this week's test match against South Africa due to the abuse he and his family received over a ball tampering scandal that has rocked the sport.
That's the toughest thing I've ever had to do. So it's about fronting up for your country and playing good cricket over the next 5 days.
Smith has already suffered a heavy financial penalty for his part in the scandal, losing $1.85 million through a subsequent ban from this year's Indian Premier League, and personal sponsors Commonwealth Bank and cereal maker Sanitarium dropping him. FIFA has confirmed no British referees will take part at the Russia World Cup, a first in the past 80 years. Referees from England, Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland have been excluded from the list of 36 referees selected for the FIFA World Cup 2018 that kicks off on the 14th of June. The last time British referees were not in the list was in 1938 World Cup. Mark Clattenburg, who refereed the 2016 Euro Cup final, was in FIFA's list of officials, but he forfeited his place when he left his job. The English Football Association attempted to replace Clattenburg, but its request was rejected by FIFA. There are also 63 assistant referees selected by FIFA. None of them are British. Karate and Taekwondo are sports that bring in most international medals for Nepal. These sports may have quite similar techniques, rules and uniform, but there are 54 associations for karate alone and 4 associations for Taekwondo. Most of these associations have been formed with an intention to get a piece of the government budget. Some associations are even politically inclined. Certain criteria have to be fulfilled to establish such associations, but that hasn't happened. All of these associations have not even received international recognition. To send these athletes to take part in international competitions, the associations must be recognized internationally. The formation of these sports associations that do not give importance in producing athletes of international standard will not help in improving the sports sector of Nepal. In this context, we asked the residents of Kathmandu, Viratnagar, Pokhara and Nepalganj what they think about the multiple associations being established in the country for a single purpose. Let's now take a look at what they had to say.
Public voice.
एकै किसिमको धेरै संघहरु हुनु कारण चाहिँ व्यक्तिगत स्वार्थै हो जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई एक हिसाबले हुन्छ राम्रो संघलाई पनि अब अपर्च्युनिटी नपाएपछि खेलाडीहरु कति हुन्छन् नि अपर्च्युनिटी नपाएपछि अर्को संघ खोलेर केही हुन्छ कि भनेर चाहिँ त्यो अपर्च्युनिटीकै लागि अर्को संघ खोल्छन्
कति हुने मार्केटमा पैसा उठाउने हामी क्लब हो हामी खेल्ने भनेर हुन्छ हैन त्यसले गर्दा यो राम्रो होइन सर के
भाग बन्नकै लागि नै यो सब बेसी खेलाडी सङ्घ उत्पादन भयो जस्तो लाग्छ
And that's all for the moment. Our next English bulletin will air at 11 a.m. Stay with us for more news and entertainment on Kantipur Television HD. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.